The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today, by Franklin D. Roosevelt.
One of the little things that I like about that guy is a quote like that.
It was a quote like that. He went through like a big pivotal moment in the United States. There's a lot of things that happened during his presidency.
World War II.
World War II.
Depression.
Yeah.
Like craziness.
He had a lot of things that he was battling through. You had mentioned too that it was during his time that the welfare system was created, right?
The Great New Deal.
Mm.
The Great New Deal was that was the time. Like that whole process started. So all the subsidies and entitlements came from that time.
Thank you, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Creating a dependent society.
Yeah. So he was born in 1882 and he died in 1945. That long ago.
Jeez.
I know. I looked at that date. I'm going to give my age to you guys. I was born in 1983. So he was born almost 100 years before me.
Wow.
Almost exactly.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. Time goes by so fast. A lot has happened since then.
Didn't he have polio? Is that the one where he was in the wheelchair? That's the president that was in the wheelchair.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he played polo.
Okay. I guess water polo, maybe.
He played lots of sports. He went to Harvard.
Smart man.
And played lots of, he learned to ride, shoot, sail, along with playing polo, tennis, and golf. So I don't know about polio.
No, maybe he wasn't in the wheelchair.
I don't know. Bonus points to those of you in the comments that can, without Googling it or looking it up, what president was he? What number president was he?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Because I don't know the answer to that question.
When was the Great Depression and revving up to World War II? It's around that time. So bonus points if you guys can tell us what president he is. So enough about Franklin D. Roosevelt. This is one of the good things that came from his presidency is the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today.
I love that quote, though. Like, that's a pretty good quote.
That is a good quote.
Yeah.
I like good quotes.
Goes into mindset.
A lot of big mindset. So we're going to talk about two people today. Last week we talked about two dudes. So this week we're going to talk about two chicks.
Two chicks.
Two chicks that rocked it in the business world.
Women do your thing.
Do your thing, ladies.
Yeah. Not only are you raising families and like bringing life into this world, but you're making like big things happen in this world. I don't know what we would do without women.
I know in our city, there are probably over 50%, I would say, of the stores and restaurants are ran by women.
I would say right now as well, the majority of startups are done by women.
Are women.
Women are just, you guys are carrying the weight of the world right now on your shoulders. Men, you got to pick it up. Like, what's up, man? Let's go. Get off that game. Stop gaming. Take those gaming headphones off. Get outside and do something.
Let's do it.
Sorry. I'm just going off on a tangent.
So one woman that was a rock star was Sara Blakely. Do you know who Sara Blakely was?
I do.
Yeah, you do now.
A billionaire.
A billionaire with a B. Sara Blakely was the founder of Spandex.
I thought it was Lululemon.
No. No. I don't even know what Lululemon is. I know it's a fancy thing. It's a thing that
like
all the girls go.
Yoga gear?
I don't know. Lululemon?
Lululemon.
And then there's LuLaRoe. There's all the girl things. Yeah, that's kind of on the downcline.
Names.
I know. But that is not Sara Blakely. Sara Blakely did Spandex. And Spandex has been just transformational to the women's industry, clothing industry. And she has a really cool story. I love her story. She basically had this idea of spandex being a thing and being helpful to women. And she had very little money. And a lot of people told her no. They're like, no, that's a dumb idea. What are you talking about? Spandex. That's so silly.
You know why?
Why?
Back in the day, I guess it's kind of still maybe like that, but men kind of ruled the women's fashion industry, which is crazy, right? Like, who would know better that and what feels good on a woman than a woman, right? So it's like, I can imagine she's coming up, hey, I know what we like and I know what feels good on us. And the guy's like, nah,
Let me keep fastening your bras in the
it.
back.
Yeah.
That's seriously the dumbest thing in the universe as a woman. So isn't that dumb, ladies? Bras that fasten in the back. That was probably invented by a man.
Did they change that?
I wonder.
Has an
Some of
invention
them, I
connected
mean,
to it?
still most of them fasten in the back.
Really?
Yeah. So stupid.
Wow.
Is Victoria's Secret? That was created by a man, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. So she came in and she's like, booyah.
Flip the game.
I got better ideas. I am a woman and I know what women need to wear.
Yeah.
And shapewear was one of them, spandex. So she faced numerous rejections from potential manufacturers and investors when she tried to bring her product to market.
Exactly.
And they were saying, girl, you don't know fashion.
You a chick. What you know?
You have no background in fashion. What are you thinking? But she saved up $5,000 from her job selling fax machines.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. She was like, I will show you guys. I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to sell
Selling
some fax
fax
machines.
machines.
And that's how she purchased her first prototype.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. What was he selling in that movie?
He was
Wasn't it
selling,
fax machines or
yeah,
something
like
like
some health monitor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Door-to-door sales. Sometimes it works.
He did it. Yeah, and then after that, I'm sure it took a while. I mean, last week, our quote was all about luck coming from hard work.
Yeah.
And so with her, I think same thing. Like, she wasn't an overnight success. It took a lot of work.
Yep.
A lot of time, a lot of people saying no to her. But now spandex is known as a globally recognized brand. And yeah, she's one of the youngest self-made female billionaires with a B. Could you imagine being a billionaire? What do you even do with all that?
I don't even know.
She transformed the industry. Go Sara Blakely.
You can find that stuff in pretty much like all the pants you buy now. Like, I think I did this last week. Every pants has spandex in it.
Spandex,
like all the jeans have
everything.
Because they're all stretchy now.
Makes everything better.
Yeah. You go Blakely.
Yeah. Good job, girl.
There's another chick.
Sorry, it wasn't spandex that she invented. It was Spanx.
What is Spanx?
Spanx is made from spandex.
Now I'm all confused.
I know. I'm sorry.
Spanx is made from spandex.
Yeah, so Spanx are the ones. Sorry, y'all. We just totally blew this, but you get the idea. You get it all is still relevant. Spanx are the pant. They're like the underwear that hide all of your curves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I can't read, apparently. Spanx.
I mean, I can see how that gets confused.
Yeah, it's the one. It's like the underwear that like hide all of your things, all of your curves.
Gotcha.
So when you put a dress on, you don't see all the
it like
underwear lines.
It puts everything where it's supposed to go.
Puts it all together. Yeah. So she was the founder of Spanx, not Spandex.
Spanx. I never heard of that though. But you become a billionaire from that.
From Spanx, from one simple idea, one thing
crazy.
That was like, this is going to revolutionize the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Either way, you go, girl.
Yeah. I'm glad I fixed that because that's a big error.
So Spanx, not spandex.
Yeah.
Spanx.
I don't know why I even said
She
Spandex.
probably uses spandex and Spanx.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, who you got? You got a person.
Yeah, I don't have that deep of a background on her, but we got some good info on her.
Yeah.
So some of you may have heard of Arianna Huffington, right? Not Ariana Grande.
That was the first thing I thought of. Ariana Grande.
Right? Not Ariana Grande.
Huffington Post.
Yep. She's the creator of Huffington Post, which is one of the biggest, I would say, progressive media outlets out there. So her story was she was in politics first. So she had aspirations to go far in the political world, but it just didn't work out for her. She number one she never won an election that would allow her to get to the level that she wanted. So she faced criticism, self-doubt, and especially after all her political aspirations didn't pan out, she was hit with a what do I do now kind of realization, right? So
Running for political office is no joke.
you're doing that now.
And I'm at like the bottom of the ones, and it is no joke. I could only imagine. I don't blame her for it not working out.
Yeah. I had my little toe in that too, and it's just
Yeah,
not fun. No.
it's not fun.
I realize it's not for me.
So she's like, nope, this isn't working out. I got to figure something else out.
Yep.
Yeah.
The political world, but I will affect the political world because now she goes into media. So she switched into media. She had a following, like she had built a following through her political aspirations, because she provided great information. So she said, you know what, I can utilize this and create a media company where I can express my views, right? And I can share my views to the public and people that resonate with that. And so she created Huffington Post.
Which is actually probably more influential than her being a politician.
100%.
I bet she, like 100,000 billion times more, has influenced more people through media.
Exactly. So with Huffington Post is now one of the largest, like we said, I would say progressive, liberal, whatever you want to call it, media outlets out there.
Interesting. Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah.
Is she still running it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go. 2 very influential women, right, that have done great things and have persevered through adversity to make it happen.
Yeah.
It did not happen overnight.
Did not happen overnight.
And I think it's a little tougher for women, you know, because especially women in the workforce, you know, you got to kind of work harder to make yourself get out there and have people kind of respect what you're doing, you know, earn that respect. So the fact that you're able to overcome those obstacles and make it to that level of success, that's huge. You know, that's huge. So I commend any woman entrepreneur. That goes for you too. Crushing it, struggling every day, you know, to make that impact because, you know, it's not easy.
I think that honestly, being a woman in business, the biggest challenge is not that we're not recognized or respected. I mean, I think that there's a level of that, but I think that has gotten way better than it used to be.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge as a woman is there seems to be this like assumption that you have to pick one or another. You can either be successful in business and have this big career and make lots of money, or you can have a family.
Yeah.
I think but the reality is, I mean, the honest reality is it's very hard to do both, but it's possible. But it's still, one still kind of takes away from another. Like if you're running a business, you're not going to be the stay-at-home homeschool mom.
Right.
I mean, it's possible, but it's harder.
Yeah.
You're not going to be at your kids, you know, all of their school activities and field day and all of that. I mean, you still can, but it's harder. But also I look at, in my particular situation, if one of the kids is sick at school, McLean, my husband, who runs his own business too, he gets to continue to work for the most time. And I drop my job and go get the kids. So I think that it's possible to do both. You don't have to pick one or the other, but it's a lot harder than I think a man has to do. Also, you know, we're the ones that carry the baby. So obviously working when you're pregnant and in labor and afterwards and bonding with the baby and doing all the things is a lot harder than the way a man has it. So I would say, we went off on kind of a tangent, but I would say that's the bigger part of the struggle.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of pressure for women. And that's one of the reasons women are waiting a lot longer to have kids, is because the world is telling them you have to put kids on the back burner so that you can build a career.
Yeah.
And that's just dog poop.
I think that's BS. I think what the focus should be is ensuring you find the right partner.
Exactly.
Right? Find the right match. Because, you know, not for nothing, if I'm married to a woman who's a business owner and doing it, I'm going to do my best to support her, right? As her partner, as her husband. Just like my wife does for me, you know, my wife is not a business owner. She works, but, you know, she's like, do your thing, you know? And if it was, the roles were reversed where I was working and my wife was a business owner, then I'm going to say, how can I support you in that as well? So it's about finding the right partner, not putting everything off, you know, because you can find the right partner very young, you know, and as long as you, I think the problem is, and we're going off on a way tangent,
Way
right?
tangent.
But
Yeah,
that's
but that's
okay,
okay.
right?
Because we're talking about limiting beliefs. It actually
Yes,
goes along well with this.
100%.
I mean, these are all limiting beliefs that
Yeah.
we face. Yeah.
The problem is that the society is pushing a very selfish mindset on men and women,
100%.
right?
100%.
And it doesn't have to be that way. Like there's not, it's okay to be independent, but when you find someone that you can be codependent with, right, where you actually rely on each other, then you can go so much farther than just trying to be Miss Independent. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for men. You know, it's it like the world, what the world is pushing is not creating success, true success, because a lot of people are dying lonely, right? It's creating a very lonely world. Let's just say that the world is very lonely.
Lonely, selfish,
Lonely and selfish. And that's bad combinations.
depressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depression, what is the biggest thing out there that people are focusing on now is mental health, right? Because of the loneliness, because of the selfishness, because of the depression, you know, because that's what the world is pushing out to
Because of the
everybody.
limiting beliefs.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And it all ties into that limiting belief. Oof. Anyway,
That's deep.
we can go to a whole other podcast on that stuff.
We didn't plan on all this today, but it's good stuff. Yeah.
So let's go into let's talk about limiting beliefs, right? What are some points that, you know, or what are some things that people go through that, you know, that is a result of having a limiting belief? And in business, even in personal life, I have 3.
3.
Yeah. Fear of failure, imposter syndrome. I think that's a big
That was
one.
the first thing that came to my mind was imposter syndrome.
That's a huge one. And I think they a lot of these, you know, they tie together really. And scarcity mindset.
Yeah. So let's get into those because those are really good.
Yeah.
Fear of failure.
So fear of failure. And here's what I have for fear of failure, right? It's the belief that if I fail, it means I'm not cut out to be a business owner. Or if I fail,
there would be no businesses.
there'd be no businesses.
None.
So I think failure is just a natural way of progress. You know, you're supposed to learn from your failure. You're supposed to, in everything you do, expect to have some failure involved in there. Expect to have mistakes. You know,
Failure is important to running
is.
a business.
Yeah.
Actually.
The school of hard knocks, right? There's no better degree than a degree from the school of hard knocks.
So true.
College can't teach you what the school of hard knock teaches you, right? The school of real life, the school of going through your journey and actually doing it, right? That school, you get a PhD there, no one can tell you anything.
No, that's why you look at a lot of these business owners, the successful business owners, and I mean, so many of them, I think we saw Elon Musk almost, last week we talked about it, almost declared bankruptcy or did declare bankruptcy. Donald Trump, I mean, he's several times has done it. Who else? We talked about another business owner in past podcasts that went through bankruptcy. The JCPenney.
JCPenney was on the verge.
On the verge.
Look at Steve Jobs getting fired from Apple, you know, the company he started. Like they fired him and, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah. So almost every successful person that I can think of failed at one point or another and use that as an opportunity for motivation to move forward.
Exactly. So I think fear of failure, if you fear failure, then you're truly living in a limited mindset. So don't fear failure. You know, use it as a learning experience.
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
Don't purposely fail.
Yeah. Have grace on yourself, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Ooh.
That's the first one that came to your mind, right?
That's the first one that
So what do
came
you
to
think
my
about
mind.
when it comes to imposter syndrome?
Well, we are all about the social media these days and watching videos. And I think it's so easy. Actually, I had a brainstorm, just an aha moment a couple weeks ago. And one of the things that we're switching the brand of the business project
Yeah.
to embrace the mess.
I like that.
I think when you look at a lot of businesses, you know, companies that advertise to businesses, there's, you know, a perfect picture of like us sitting at the office with this perfect suit and these smiles and our computer and everything's clean.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in reality, running a business is kids jumping over you, your electricity going out and messing up your podcast recording, coming in, your son forgetting or phone not working when you leave the house and like panicking, you know, instead of focusing on what you're supposed to focus on. That's really what running a business is about.
Yeah.
And so we're going to embrace that here at the Business Project. And we do already with our podcast, talk about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I think imposter syndrome is looking at these perfect people that we follow and thinking, comparing ourselves and being like, oh, I'll never get that way, or that's not me, or I'm not good enough, or I can't do it, or I'm not like them, or all of these things that come to our mind when we're looking at other people's lives, just such a small piece of it.
I love it. Yeah, that's perfect. I couldn't give a better explanation. It's like going into a room, you know, with a bunch of business owners and feeling like, what am I doing here? Right? I don't belong here. That is such BS. That is such BS. Anybody who's even putting themselves out there to even to start a business, you know, just to create something, you have every right to be wherever you need to be. You know, that mindset, imposter syndrome has damaged so many businesses, so many opportunities for networking, so many opportunities to meet people where, you know, that those people that you could be out there meeting can help you take your business to the next level, but you're damaging that opportunity from the beginning.
Just from your
thoughts. You feel like you don't need to
thoughts.
be there. Exactly. So,
And you know what's crazy is I guarantee you 99.9% of the people in that room are feeling the same way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're doubting themselves and comparing themselves to others and wondering if they're worthy to be there. And
Yep.
we're all in it.
Yep.
But I say, I mean, we really need to have a mind shift on that and just embrace the mess. And we all are given different strengths and different tools for getting through this life. And I have a great story. I don't know if have I told the story before of me in the pool racing the girl. Have I told that on the podcast
I don't
before?
think so.
If I haven't, then I'm going to tell it. If I have told it, it's a good story and you're going to hear it again. Can I give a
Go
quick
ahead.
story?
Let's hear it.
Okay, because I think this goes along really well with what we're talking
love
about.
it.
It's going to make it longer, but that's okay. You guys will enjoy it.
It's a good story.
Yeah, so I swim, I did, for exercise for a while, and I have a back injury, and so it was like the best way for me to exercise, and I was feeling really bad about myself for a long time. My previous business was a gym, so when I hurt my back, I gained a good amount of weight. I had a hard time exercising, so the pool was like my place to go and just be alone with my thoughts and get myself healthy again. And I had been doing it for probably about 6 months, and I was like, finally feeling good, right? I feel good. I feel in shape. When I first started, I felt like I was going to drown. Anytime I got in the pool, I'd do like 2 laps and feel like I was going to drown. So this was at a point where I've been doing it for a while. I'm like, man, I'm super fast. This is great. So I'm swimming laps one day, and there's a lady next to me, and she's swimming. And I'm like, I'm fast. I'm going to race her and see if I can beat her because I'm awesome. Like secretly competing with her in my head. So I'm waiting at the edge of the pool, and she's coming towards me, and she does a flip and goes, and I'm like, off to the races. So I'm racing her. I go to the end. I do like the perfect flip turn. I come back. Racing as fast as I can go. She has no idea that we're racing. And I get to the other side of the pool. I touch the wall. I look up. She had already flipped and was like halfway back down the other side. And I just feel like my heart dropped. And I'm like, I suck. I suck at everything. This is awful. I'm a terrible swimmer. I can't run anymore. I just got this whole I even like sat up on the side of the pool and just, what am I doing? Why am I even doing this? Just, and such a awful. And so I'm just sitting there, just talking all these bad words to myself and putting myself down. And so she goes back to the end, she comes back, and I'm like watching her. Man, she's so graceful in the pool, watching her. And she gets there and flips and goes back. I realize she has flippers on. She's wearing flippers. So here I am. I have big feet, but they're not like flippers. So here I am comparing myself. We were given using completely different tools. I don't know her history or how long. She could have been an Olympic swimmer. I don't know how long she's been swimming. And she has freaking flippers on. And I'm beating myself up over, secretly racing with this woman. And that was just a moment of such clarity to me. How many times in my life have I compared myself to somebody else?
Yeah.
When we were in two completely different races.
2 different parallels.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
That's a good story. It goes along well, huh? Very limiting belief.
Next time, don't try to race everybody.
Yeah,
just go at your own pace. Go at your own pace. You'll get there.
Yeah. Don't compare yourself with somebody else that's been given different tools.
Right. That's a good one. I like that. Wow. I hope you guys are got some insight from that one.
That was a good one.
What was I gonna say on that one is you know what you didn't do?
What?
On your competitor?
Let her know that I was racing her?
Nope. You didn't do your research.
I didn't do my research.
You just dove in.
That's great. Literally dove in.
Make sure you know who you're competing against.
Yeah. That's really good.
See, all that comes from previous podcasts, I'm able to start piecing things together and in stories and analyze them different now.
All of it fits in.
It does. All right, here's another one. Scarcity mindset. I think we can do a whole thing on mindset. There's a great book. It's called Mindset. Carol Dweck.
Imagine that.
Can you figure like this thing is perfect for this podcast? Carol Dweck goes into fixed mindset versus growth mindset. There's 2 types of mindsets. Obviously, the fixed mindset is you're just set in your ways, right? So the chance of you growing is slim.
Which I feel like most of us are in so many different ways.
Exactly. Yeah,
it
there's
seems
some things
like
that we're stubborn about.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like some things we could probably have a fixed mindset on and some of them a growth mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And we just have to recognize.
Yep.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, but you're right. Yeah. But you're right. So, that type of mindset goes into scarcity mindset, right? Scarcity mindset is a fixed mindset issue. And it goes into the belief is there aren't enough customers, resources, clients for my business to succeed. So it's a scarcity mindset, or there's not enough money. I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough of that. So when you have that kind of mindset, you kind of push yourself into the potential of making really bad decisions, right? You make decisions based on, it's kind of like,
you like sabotage yourself.
Yes. You sabotage yourself.
Self-sabotage.
You make very impulsive decisions. You don't make logical decisions. So you take the logic out of decision making when you have that kind of mindset, and it becomes more impulsive. So, that is
emotional problem. Probably too.
Very
you make emotional decisions.
Yep. Yeah. So those are my points.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are really good ones.
So if you have these things, these limiting beliefs, right, that are stopping you from being able to progress, take a step back. Do a recharge on yourself. Like do a self-assessment and say, what's stopping me? What mindset, what belief system am I carrying that's stopping me from being able to move forward? You can change that. Affirmations
are really powerful in that way. And one of the things that I thought of too when you talked about fixed mindset that I see a lot in business owners is they get afraid of competition, or they don't collaborate with other businesses. We've talked about this 1,000 times in our podcast. If there's a couple restaurants on a block or downtown, you can have one of 2 mindsets as a restaurant owner. You can be excited that there's more restaurants because all the advertising that they're doing and the customers that they're bringing in is also going to get some exposure for your business. Or you can be mad because you look at it as competition. And, there's I don't remember which one, but there's 2 restaurants that like battle each other publicly, and it's a fun battle.
Yeah.
And because they do that, they bring in customers from all over the country to eat at their restaurants.
Yeah.
They have a growth mindset instead of competing, and there's only limited resources and we've got so many people here and they can only eat so much. Instead of doing that, they found a fun way to collaborate. And that's a big thing that business owners struggle with.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Get out of that. You need to stop that. If that's how you think, stop it now. Save yourself the heartache and the headache and stop that now. There's plenty to go around for everyone. You just got to learn how to work with people.
You do. Yeah. And figure out what your strengths are and what their strengths are. Synergy.
Yep.
Create some synergy. I mean, yeah. You and I are a great example of that too.
Yeah.
You do business coaching. I do some business coaching.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, no, John, we can't have a podcast together and we can't be friends.
Yeah.
We're like, dude, you are good at some things in business. I'm good at some things in business. Let's do it together.
How much more powerful are we together versus going at it separately?
I would be really bored doing a podcast talking to myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be awful.
Yeah.
You guys would hate it.
Exactly. So being able to, bounce off each other is beneficial for the people watching.
100%.
So learn that process. If you're, against that, that might be something that you might want to start there and trying to fix.
We want to hear from you guys in the comments if you're at a place that can comment. What are your limiting beliefs? What do you feel like is holding you back, or another business owner that you're friends with that they're struggling with? Mm-hmm. And how can you overcome that? Are these the 3 that we talked about, are these some that you have issues with as a business owner? Do you recognize these in yourself, and what are you going to do to fix them? And what do you think about the quote? The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. What do you get from that quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt?
I would love to hear what you have to say. Share it with us.
Yes.
Let's grow together.
We have a free resource for this podcast.
I love these free resources.
Yeah. I have to admit, I don't know what it is.
But if you go to www.thebusinessproject.com, you'll have access to it.
Yes. The link to it will be in the comments of this.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs. I believe that is what the free resource is on.
That's actually, I'm excited to see that.
Overcoming limiting beliefs.
Yeah. That's a good
Sorry, I made a hum. I hit the microphone.
Well, we're going to sing on the way out. The choir.
All right, guys. It really, 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 really helps us out if you like us, share us, give us a review, all the things. We're trying to grow this joker. Mm-hmm. It's ready now. We've moved our podcast room about 500 times.
Yeah.
We both have a bazillion other things going on, and this has not been able to be a huge focus for us, but we're working on making it a focus. John's got a cool office here. We're getting it set up. It's getting better and better every week.
Yeah.
And we're ready to make this a focus. But we need your help. We need you guys to help us by doing all the things that get it out there.
Liking, sharing, following, and what's the word? Commenting, or, engaging. Engage it, because, the more what you share can help us create better content as well.
And if you got something out of this podcast, it's it's likely that somebody else will get something out of it too. You never know what sharing this could do. Could change somebody's life, change their business.
Love it.
All right. We will see you guys next week. What's our quote next week? Next week we have a live.
Oh,
we do live. The first Friday of every month is a live.
You know who? We should invite somebody on that one.
We should.
Yeah.
We'll have a guest with us.
Yeah.
Our first guest in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a live show next Friday at
Stay
9
tuned.
a.m., which is what date is that? June 7th.
Next Friday is June 7th?
Anyways, the first Friday of every month, we will be live at 9 o'clock. Yeah, we'll make sure to have a guest. I don't know if that's next Friday or the Friday after, but next week we'll be back with another good
Will.
episode for y'all.
See ya.
See ya.